Obviously, this is a difficult one because Torsten just had such a great career, and you guys are trying to build towards 2013 and get this team back on track. How tough was it for yourself and for Torsten to go through this process when he just, I guess, eventually knew that he couldn't continue?
Yeah, one of the things you have to be in this business is realistic. So we knew that there was a possibility that this might be the case. I flew to London to meet with Torsten, which should be an indication of how highly we think of him. And he told me about the quality of his rehab. We also sent our sports science people to Germany to spend some time with him. We knew how hard he was working. There was never any doubt about that. But as he said, it wasn't going to become apparent until he got on the field and started actually trying to do soccer moves under pressure. And then it became apparent that he wasn't there yet. And when we talked to Alex, it became apparent that it was possible that he might never get there. So I think that Torsten, I think it's genuine that he made the decision now because that was the best thing for the club.
He talked about his time here and that obviously it was a great experience to come over to Major League Soccer. But I guess when you do think about it, and I don't want to put words into his mouth, it may have been also a very challenging period for him as well, coming over to a new league, dealing with different coaches, and then dealing with the injury as well. I'm sure he would have liked for it to be a better outcome as far as his time here.
Well, I'm sure. He's a player that was accustomed to winning a lot. So I'm sure it was disappointing to him that that didn't occur here in Toronto. But, I've been around a lot of designated players in our league over the years, and there's been very few that have come into the league and really embraced the league and been respectful of it to the extent that Torsten has. And, he loves Toronto. He clearly loves Toronto. He loves this organization. He's a frequent visitor to the Air Canada Centre particularly for hockey games, but he goes to basketball games all the time. His agent was telling me that Torsten was dragging him out to baseball games last summer when he was in town visiting. So I think he really, in a wonderful way, tried to embrace this experience. And, I think we're all disappointed that the club wasn't able to give him perhaps a better experience on the field. But he will have a part in our success that I expect to achieve over the next couple of years.
Obviously, this does open up a lot of areas for Toronto FC to grow coming up this season now with the Eric Hasley designated player spot, Torsten Frings DP spot as well. We all remember the Super Draft and the moves that the club made there, picking up a lot of allocation money as far as the trades were concerned with Toronto's picks. Obviously, though, it's coming down to the wire as well with that first game against the Vancouver Whitecaps this weekend.
Yeah, look, we're not going to be completed by that first game. I'm not going to kid anybody about that. Given the timing of when I arrived, when Ryan arrived, when Fran arrived, when Pat Onstad arrived, we've been kind of building this airplane in flight. So there's going to continue to be some changes. We feel like the group that we have is beginning to really understand the way Ryan wants to do things and the way we want to play on the field, and we've seen a lot of improvement there. We didn't have a great record in Orlando, but I think actually there were a lot of fundamental changes in the way we played in those matches. And, easily could have had a better record. So we saw progress. The team is much fitter than it was at this time last year. We think that we have some players coming in that will add some quality. And then we're considering additional changes as we move through March and into April. So I think it's going to be very exciting the next 6 weeks or so. I think people will see change from day one, but they'll see even more change as we move into the season.